Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of your Advanced Computers 2 course. This week we are going to finish up last week's PowerPoint. So what we're going to be looking at this week is the remainder of these slides. So we're going to be starting with how to hide columns and rows. Now the important thing to remember about hiding a column or a row is it doesn't make it go away completely. In other words, it's not deleted. The data is still there. It just isn't going to display and it's not going to print. So you can hide something and then you can pull it back in without losing the integrity of your document. So it's a very important tool to use. Next, you're going to learn about how to select a cell range, both cells that are next to each other and things that are not next to each other. So a range is just a grouping. So we can have some that are right next to each other, or we can have just different sections of them. And so you're going to look at how to do that. And then once you know how to select a range, then you're going to look at how to move it or copy it and paste it. Now the one thing to keep in mind is if you move or copy and paste a range of cells, the text is going to stay the same. But if you have any type of formula in a particular cell, it's going to be adjusted when it moves into that pasted location. So for example, say you're referencing cell A1, but you move it to a different place in the spreadsheet, it's going to reference a new cell. So it's going to reference it based on where it is in the spreadsheet. So as you move cells with formulas, know that those formulas are going to change. So it's very important that you understand that. So if you don't want that to happen, if you just want to move the data itself and you don't want that formula anymore, you can use something called Paste Special. So it allows us to take data and put it into a different format. So we can change it from a formula into a value, for example. And I actually do that quite often. I'll have a formula in a spreadsheet. I don't want to keep that formula in there because if it's going out to someone else, I don't want them to be able to manipulate the data and change what's in there. So I can use the formula, put the formula in there, and then I can copy and paste Special and just put the values in there afterwards so that no one else can mess with it. So that's a tool that I use quite frequently. Formatting is just, allows us to just kind of make things look nice. So it can be everything from centering something, aligning it vertically, horizontally, things like that, centering, highlighting, filling in cell colors, highlighting them with certain colors in the entire cell, putting on borders, putting borders around cells, indenting cells. So everything that you might want to do to a spreadsheet to kind of make it look a little bit nicer, to make your data kind of just pop so that it makes sense to the viewer. Now there's going to be several slides here of all of the different options that you can do and how to do it and what they mean. So how to merge some cells. One thing to keep in mind is if you merge a range of cells, what will happen is it'll only keep the data in one particular cell if you merge it across the others. So you have to make sure that you're doing the right type of merging. So be very careful when you do a merging of cells. Looking at the different numeric formats. So just because you put a number in doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a number. So you want to make sure that you are formatting it properly. Do you want it just to look like a regular number? Do you want it to be in scientific notation? Do you want it to look like dollars? Do you want it to look like a date or a time? And then the other thing to be very careful of when you're looking at numeric formats is to make sure that you have it in the right country. For some reason, one of my spreadsheets comes up every time I do it in Polish. I have no idea why. Because my actual program's not in Polish, but you'll want to make sure that you're using United States so that everything comes out correctly. There's also percents, there's fractions, scientific notation, there's special and custom ways, and you can actually define sets so that they look the way you want them. One thing I do quite frequently is I work with NDC numbers, National Drug Codes, and those have to be 11 digits. So I can go in with custom and make sure that cell is always 11 digits to make sure that I'm always looking at an NDC code properly. So those are just some of the different things that you're going to be learning about this week. If at any time you have any questions, please make sure you reach out to me, and have a great week.